behind them, hurried up the street behind the children. What is this special day? It's the occasion of the first official visit of a governor of Texas in Plano's 100-year history. And here he comes. Governor John Connally arrives in Plano to dedicate the new City Hall. Dave McCall is driving. Plano's mayor, Robert L. Harrington, accompanies the party. At City Hall, several thousand are on hand to welcome the governor to their city. The governor is introduced by State Senator Ralph Hall.
So it's my pleasure at this time to introduce to you and to ask to come and dedicate this beautiful edifice over here for Plano, which must be the fastest growing area in northeast Texas. A man whom I can introduce to you as never before having a greater and more distinguished visitor within our gates. A man who has governed is, I think, the finest governor that's ever graced the governor's mansion. I look forward to 4 more years of John Connally. And at this time, I offer to the finest people, governor in the whole state of Texas, the finest governor in our whole history. Thank you very much. Municipal building, which stands as a monument to the courage and the imagination and the initiative of your mayor, of your city council, and of those who've occupied this position for the past several years. And this is only a part of the planning that's going in to this city and its development. Next will come your fire station, over $200,000 in streets. And I wanted to come to Plano because it symbolizes to me what is best in this land. And that is government at the local level living up to its responsibility at that level. It symbolizes to me that you have faith and confidence in the future, and that you want to plan, you want to prepare for your own well-being, and this is as it should be. And I want to congratulate the 31 members of this city who served on the planning council that brought about these great municipal changes. And more than that, I want to congratulate the people who voted here, the citizens, who passed the bond issues necessary to make these needed improvements by a margin of over 4-1. This, I think, is testimony enough to your own farsightedness and your own vision and your own desire to prepare for your own future. I think it symbolizes also that Plano is limited only by the limitations determined by its own citizens. I think more today than ever before in the history of this country, there is a need for a greater understanding that it is the local government which deals most intelligently and most effectively with the day-to-day community affairs, whatever they might be. And this is one of the principal reasons why I came here, because this community symbolizes all that's good and hopeful and progressive and farsighted and courageous in the administration of your city affairs. That you are in a growing, vibrant, vital area of this state. And that if you want to continue to be so, you must plan for the future. You must plan wisely and you must plan well. And I came because this Plano municipal building symbolizes government at the local level. And more than that, it symbolizes the authority of government. It symbolizes the rule of law. It symbolizes the fact that in this nation of free people, where we have more rights, more privileges, more immunities than any people on the face of the earth, that we are a government operated under the rule of law, that we're not a government solely of men, and that each of us has rights and privileges and immunities, and we also have duties and responsibilities. And this building symbolizes all that is strong in this free democratic society of which we are part. It means to me that if we're going to live in a complex society, if we're to have these rights and privileges, then we must operate under certain restraints, always under certain restraints, and that we are government of law, and that there is no place in this land for anarchy, and that there is no place in this land for uncontrolled civil disobedience. But there is, on the other hand, a right to expect that every citizen of this nation will be treated equally and fairly under the law. You do me great honor by asking me here, and I'm delighted and proud that you would do so. Mayor, again, my congratulations to you, to the council, Mr. McCall, for your general chairmanship of this dedicatory ceremony. I'm truly grateful. Thank you very much.
As the dedication ceremonies for Plano's new $172,000 municipal building comes to a close, let's take time to see what Plano is really like. Why, it's the fastest growing town in Texas. And Plano, a mercantile center on the old Chisholm Trail 100 years ago, is today pushing the community into a master planned city with a council-manager government to become a model in the Dallas metropolitan area. The 16-man police department is headed by veteran lawman Chief J.B. Toller. The 28 firemen of the Plano Fire Department are led by longtime Chief John Dean. Plano is located astride U.S. Highway 75, which connects Dallas with Tulsa and the great cities of the Midwest. It's located 20 minutes north of Dallas. Farm to Market Highway 544 divides Plano as it runs through the center of the town, east and west. Many new apartment buildings have been constructed in Plano. One of the most modern are Springbrook apartments. However, every available apartment dwelling in Plano is occupied, and each of the more than 200 now under construction has been spoken for. Dallas North Research Park is part of a 3,000-acre development by Hunt Properties. The first building of the Graduate Research Center of the Southwest was built here in Plano. The center's staff is expected to exceed 1,000 by the end of this decade. An outstanding example of the space and science-oriented industry which will be attracted to Plano is Biometric Instrument Corporation, a subsidiary of Vero Incorporated. Biometrics engineers and manufactures Vero's static power conversion equipment. Their wares include such things as speed controls, as well as light amplifiers to turn starlight into daylight for military uses. Their products control the air conditioning systems of DC-8 jetliners, as well as the power conversion equipment on NATO submarines built in Germany, and the power for inertial navigation systems on Polaris submarines. 118 employees take home over $600,000 annually from the 20,000 square foot plant. Soon to be built on a 180-acre site is the world headquarters of the Atlantic Refining Corporation. Homes have already been built to house the many thousands of people who will bring their families to work in the research facilities and manufacturing plants yet to be constructed in Dallas North Research Park. One of the busiest builders is Joe Duncan, who is trying to keep up with the increased demand for housing in rapidly expanding Plano. Building requirements alone for the next 5 years have been estimated to be at least $15 million. The higher average paid scientists and technical workers who are being attracted to Plano will expect to be able to live in homes commensurate with their ability to pay. And they will want some place to relax after work, too. A large Texas-size and Texas-shaped pool has been constructed for summer fun in Dallas North Addition. Building materials dealers like Plano Lumber and Hardware are kept busy supplying their customers. Residential developers are active in every quarter, and there's always something for the new homeowner to buy. Homes for more expensive tastes are being built in wooded areas along scenic, winding creeks, while homes of more modest pretension are being built on the farmland surrounding the city. Agricultural and stock-raising industries, long a mainstay of the local economy, continue strong, while manufacturing, warehousing, and science-oriented industries erect their plants in Plano. Everyone would like to be a gentleman farmer. Near Plano, Joe Duncan has made provisions for urban comfort and suburban living. The 5-acre tracts provide not only a home for a good-sized family, but for their equine companions as well. Another busy real estate developer is George Cox, who early in Plano's expansion moved from Dallas to help with the growth of the emerging community. Some of his homes were built on what had been a cotton patch on the east side of town. It was Cox who, with Robert Morris, succeeded an 16-acre campus site. The University of Plano is a non-denominational institution of higher learning with a liberal arts curriculum. Soon to be constructed will be a $400,000 administration building. The city of Plano was selected for the site of the university because of its ideal location. The university is in the middle of a 50-mile radius containing a population of 3 million people. At present, it's planned to house the university in temporary buildings, but soon a beautiful administration building will rise from the prairie. Plano High School is one of the most modern in the United States. Plano provides education for 2,000 boys and girls under a nearly $1 million operating budget this school year. The school tax roll reflects an assessed evaluation of $30 million, which at the assessed value of 37% market indicated over $110 million worth of property in the Plano School District. One of the elementary schools won an award as one of the 10 most modern schools in the United States. And the growth of Plano is reflected in the continuing construction of new classrooms. Plano spends about $376 each year to educate each student. There's a total of 110 classroom teachers in 4 elementary, 2 junior high, and 1 senior high school. Construction in general, not just that of the schools, is keeping building material suppliers of all kinds working from dawn to dusk. Sand, gravel, and cement are used at a great rate as the Plano ready-mix plant strives to keep up with its orders. A high degree of accuracy is achieved in each mix with the aid of scientific weighing and batching devices. As each truck is sent on its way, the driver is assured of being able to deliver to the job site exactly what the customer ordered. Modern classrooms with modern facilities speeded up the teaching process and make learning easier and more rapid. The chairs, incidentally, were made in a Plano manufacturing plant. They're made in several sizes for different age groups in this plant. One of Plano's older industries, Carter Crafts Manufacturing Company, manufactures not only the chairs you just saw, but a full line of tables and other classroom furniture. The principal product it has been manufacturing since 1957 is classroom seating for schools and for church educational buildings. In over 100,000 square feet of space, Carter Craft bends the tubular steel, forms the chair bodies, paints the parts, and finally packages the chairs and tables for shipment to customers in the United States and overseas. Many school systems within a 50-mile radius of the Plano plant pick up their own orders. Desks have plastic tops, and chairs are fitted with high-density polyethylene seats and backs. Plano is a member of the North Texas Municipal Water District. The plant in Wiley, Texas, assures Plano of sufficient supplies of water for many years to come, including the so-called drought years, which are certain to occur periodically. At present, 24 million gallons of water is available daily from the filtration plant. The city of Plano is getting ready for the increased needs of its new industrial customers with the installation of new drains and storm sewers. Where the old depot once stood, now runs a busy street as Plano keeps pace with progress and heavy traffic demands. We've seen some of the west side of Plano, and now let's take a further look at the east side and Briarwood Estate. One of the busiest men in town is Joe Marchman, as he works with builders to develop the property. The rolling countryside provides an ideal backdrop for the kind of homes which are built in Briarwood. As you can see, the average home in Plano is several notches better than those usually built to supply the needs of the average homeowner. Because of the abundance of land in and around Plano, the lots can be spacious and the streets wide. Forward-looking planning has provided for the new homeowner a community which he will be proud to live in for many years to come. The homes are styled to be comfortable, yet easy to maintain. Native building materials make the house blend with the surroundings, yet enable it to keep its individuality and character. The busy housewife and the executive look forward to coming back to their home in Plano. If they work in Plano, they're only a few short blocks from their work. If you'll notice the ventilator above her stove, it could have been built at a plant in Plano. It's hard to believe that this plant, which employs over 150 people, is the outgrowth of a business which was begun 13 years ago in a garage with $1,000 capital. James Stalker, president of Home Metal Products Company, did just that. Today, his company is the second largest manufacturer of range hood ventilators in the entire United States. Virtually every part of the range hood ventilator is manufactured and assembled in this ultra-modern facility. 100 tons of steel are used each month. In addition, other metals like aluminum are also used. Each metal part is phosphate treated in a huge vat to prepare it for painting. This pre-painting treatment enables a much heavier coat of paint to be applied to provide a longer lasting finish and preserve the beauty of the finished product. Home Metal Products contributes greatly to the economy of Plano and is representative of the clean, modern industry the city of Plano is successfully trying to attract. Even the blower assemblies are put together in the Plano plant. To give you some idea of the variety of products manufactured by Home Metal Products, we enlisted the aid of this pretty girl to demonstrate some of them. In addition, the Hasty Bake Barbecue Grill is manufactured for distribution by a Tulsa supplier. Formerly the Eastman Company, now a division of U.S. Brass Corporation, another Plano industry of providing jobs for several hundred employees. The annual payroll is more than $1 million, while the gross exceeds $12 million in all divisions of the U.S. Brass Corporation. Eastman Central D is the second largest taxpayer in Plano. Soon, an expansion program will be inaugurated which will cost over $400,000. As you can see, the major product of Eastman is brass fittings and cutoff valves. Probably, if you look under your sink or bathroom lavatory, you'll find the cutoff valve has Eastman inscribed on it. Another big product of U.S. Brass is a flexible brass connection for gas equipment. In addition to the Plano plant, U.S. Brass has acquired properties in Los Angeles, Indiana, Kentucky, and Boston. Another large user of metal is Capital Wire and Cable Corporation. They take copper, which comes in rolls like this, and convert it into the copper wire used in home building and general construction installations. More than 1 million pounds of copper is used a month. After drawing it down to the desired size, it may be twisted into a multi-strand cable for increased current carrying capacity. As many as 30 or more strands may be twisted into a heavy-duty cable. For home use, wire is wrapped in paper for initial insulation, then is covered with a polyvinyl coating for permanent weatherproofing. Capital Wire and Cable soon will be occupying a new addition for the processing of aluminum, as well as copper. Downtown Plano merchants are sprucing up their storefronts to keep pace with Plano's progress. Other shopping centers include Plano Plaza on the east side of town and central shops between downtown and the expressway. Already begun is the nucleus of a new shopping center just west of the expressway. Soon to be constructed will be the ultra-modern Dallas North Regional Shopping Center. The land has been purchased by Hunt Properties as part of their 3,000-acre development in Plano, and the planning has begun for the center, which will include all manner of shops and services, as well as a planned high-rise apartment building. Right in the center of Plano is one of the most popular meeting places in town. After a day at Lake Lavon in summer, or following the football games in the fall, friends gather at the Dairy Queen for refreshment and pleasant conversations. There's always plenty going on in Plano, with 2 city parks and a 3rd under construction. It's only a few minutes' drive to the Cotton Bowl, Grand Opera, and the Legitimate Theater. And Plano is only minutes away from 6 recreational lakes in the North Texas area. Another modern, large, clean manufacturing neighbor in Plano is the Chrysler Boat Company. Formerly Lone Star Boat, they became a part of the great Chrysler Motors Corporation in May of 1965. They still manufacture their boats under the Lone Star label. Fiberglass construction is the big item at Chrysler Boat. Molds are filled with the fiberglass material, sprayed with resin, then allowed to bake until firm. The boats are formed in 2 parts which are mated before the upholstery is added. Fashions in boats is just as important as fashions in cars, and new models appear annually. After the fiberglass body is formed, it's polished and is ready for the seats to be added. Their own upholstery shop makes the waterproof seats for the Lone Star boats. Finally, the boats are ready to be transported to customers all over the world. These are some more homes in the Cox addition on the east side of Plano. One of Plano's first buildings is the First Methodist Church. Both it and the Presbyterian churches are over 100 years old. However, they will soon be moving into new facilities. To answer the growing quest for divine guidance and inspiration, Plano's churches are rapidly expanding their quarters. Additional denominations are founding churches in Plano to provide houses of worship for all who wish to attend. At least 14 churches of 8 denominations provide worship services for Plano residents. It's expected that with the increase in population and the expansion of the developed areas, more churches will be built. Plano residents enjoy one of the lowest tax rates in the Southwest, $1.15 per hundred on a 37% evaluation. 3 railroads serve the area, and 2 international and 4 executive airports are only a few expressway minutes away. Visit Plano, and perhaps you too will want to become a part of the Plano Story.